All right, welcome everybody. This is Mythic Society Weekly on a Wednesday night. If you want to play in Mythic Society Weeklies on a Wednesday night, you should do so starting next month. Just subscribe to their Patreon, and then boom, you have entry for the entire month to all their tournaments. It's great. It's a good time. I play decks like this. I'm literally free wins. Look at this pile. To be fair, not my pile, and it may be way better than I'm saying. This is a Matt Murray creation. This is a Yorion, Lurrus in the main deck, Skull Clamping, Riddle Smithing, Baleful Strixing, Esper deck, where we've got a bunch of forces and a bunch of Riddle Smiths. And I guess there's technically some kind of combo in here with Teshar and 2 Lurruses and artifacts that go to the graveyard. I don't really know. We have a Skull Clamp. I know that. And I know that we have, Lurrus to return things that we pitch. But we're going to kind of learn this one on the fly because I just haven't had a lot of time to try it out. So, round 1, we are up against CFT, noted brewer himself. Let's see if we can't go find our match. Tournament practice. I clicked all the wrong places before we're getting here. All right, we found our match. Beautiful. So CFT is on a lands-based combo deck. Another week where we play against lands. This is what we're playing against. We're playing against Crucible of Worlds, Fast Spawn, Valakut Exploration, Deafening Silence, Enlightened Tutor, Crop Rotation, and a very, Field of the Dead, Glacial Chasm kind of pile of Magic the Gathering cards. So, not this time. We don't get to say we have a cat. We've got a bird. A bird serpent. Multiple birds. I assume that this is within the range of keepable hands that we could have tonight. Yeah. Let's try it. I mean, as per the usual Matt Murray deck, this hand does not do anything. However, it does not do anything very pretty. So. Keep. It's possible I'm supposed to be like mulling for a Force of Will against my opponent. Very one card, like their enchantments are very important, but is there an island in my list? These are kind of things we should have checked beforehand. There is an island. I don't really think fetching an island is like a worthwhile endeavor though. So yeah, actually I don't want to get wastelanded on this turn. I would at least want to, I don't know, time walk or get some pressure on board first. So I guess an island is fine. We don't really want to see things like Fast Bond or Valakut Exploration from our opponent. Well, I guess we're not topping either. I'm going to just leave the top in play so that it will turn on the Mox Opal eventually. My opponent on a very restrictive hand. Okay, this is non-creature, which is great. Baleful Strix lives to see another day. I don't think there's any reason to time walk right now. I think I would rather just play a Baleful Strix, play a Mox, and yeah, I think play a Mox. That way we have a lot of mana to use for our time walk turns. Also, if we draw Force of Will, we might need to hold this time walk as a blue card. It's possible next turn the best thing we can do is bobble ourselves and then maybe crack away, depending on what's on top. We don't have enough to go time walk Yorion yet. We would need to have 3 minutes. Oh, I got the Ghost Quarter. Oh, there are 4 Ghost Quarters in my opponent's deck, so maybe I was supposed to not fetch this basic. I mean, there are also 4 Wastelands, so it's... But we only have 1 basic in the deck. I think we probably should have not... We probably should have just fetched all non-basics. Riddle Smith. All right, I mean, if we're going to keep drawing creatures, it sounds like a good time to me. Get a Riddle Smith down. I think I'm going to go with the Bobble line here. I think I'm just going to discard... Yeah, definitely discard this Petal. And then let's see what I got working with here. I have a Force of Will on top, so I'm going to play this and not crack. And now we're probably just going to hold this Time Walk so that if my opponent draws, I don't know, land and plays out Valakut Exploration, then we have an answer, which is really good. Force of Will, probably one of the best draws we had. Land Gigantha. I did not even realize my opponent had a Gigantha in their deck. All right, well, Baleful Strix deals with Gigantha pretty well. I'm not too worried about Gigantha. I think here what I'd like to do is just play this Tundra, put the Yorion in my hand. Oh, I guess playing the Opal has no downside here, so we should play the Opal as well. Cool. All right, so next turn we can play a Yorion and cash in on a Baleful Strix trigger. A Bajuka Bog, sure. Yo, what's up, Zara? Sure. My opponent's not doing anything fast, which is good because we also do not do anything fast. Interesting. Kind of awkward because we can't play it. Let's get our big flyer in play. Flicker, this, and this. If I use my Mox Opal to make black mana, then I've already cast 1 non-creature spell. Alright, well now I have another card to pitch to Force of Will, so I can make somewhat lethal attacks soon. This is a card that I just want to counter. Nice draw. So this is 7, which is exactly enough. Beautiful. Well, if our opponent plays 1 relevant spell, and we put a 4/5 flyer from outside the game into play, we can, in fact, win games of Magic. You'll love to see it. Sideboarding. Let's see. My opponent... Gigantha, Tireless Trackers. I don't really know what's happening from my opponent's side of the board. I kind of think Crucible, so I guess we want some Tormod's Crypts and some basic lands and some lanterns. And then a Seal of Cleansing seems appropriate. And then what do we take out? Fluster looks pretty bad. I don't think we really need Tinker Blightsteel. Maybe Tinker Citadel is actually terrible in this deck, and I should have just trusted the Murray. It's possible. It's totally possible. I don't really think I need a probe here. And then... I don't know. What is the best trim? I don't really need a Lavinia. Then we don't need a Mana Vault. I'll just do it. Yeah, this is it's quite a beautiful Matt Murray creation for sure. It's something. I have a bird. I actually think this is a keep, even though I don't have any blue mana. Mental Misstep is probably one of the best cards against my opponent's fast bond deck. So, yeah, I'm in. Basic Plains it is. No. All right, island, 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 island. Okay. They have Vigors in their sideboard? No. Noted. They do have Serenities. They have Deafening Silence, so we should just cast it all now. We are close. We're close. we're close. Okay, passes back. I'm looking for artifacts. Yeah, that works. All right, we're doing it. Okay. They could have crop rotation here, I guess. Is that what's going to happen? Or are they just fetching? Oh, Enlightened Tutor. Yeah. That makes sense. They have a land. They might just go for Valakut Exploration here. We're in the tank. They went for Fast Bond. Interesting. Why would they go for Fast Bond? I think I'm inclined to let Fast Bond resolve. We're on turn 3. What is the worst that could happen here? As long as we counter La Crucible. Yeah, I'm kind of down to let Fast Bond resolve. Okay. Was it a bait? They have an exploration as well? Oh, they have a Crucible. Okay. I was not baited here. I had the answer. Field of the Dead. That would have been quite the play, huh? Fast Bond, Crucible, Arid Mesa, Field of the Dead. Okay. They have one card left. Ooh, that's a draw, is it not? I have a feeling we are about to draw some Magic the Gathering cards. Boom. Beautiful. This one, this one. Black, green, white. Lurrus. Baleful Strix. I believe we're drawing 4 cards every turn at this point. Not a bad draw either. We need to hold out for 1 turn here. But not a terrible draw. They have another Crucible. Oh, they have an Exploration. That's a good one. Wasteland. Trigger. Fast Bond. Okay. Wasteland me. So this is definitely an engine, but is it better than our Lurrus Baleful Strix Skull Clamp engine? That will be the question. They do have Fast Bond Exploration, which is in fact a combo. Do we have a Demonic Tutor in our deck? Okay, we have a Demonic Tutor in our deck. We are looking for Seal of Cleansing and that, or Teferi. They're gonna choose to not Wasteland. Interesting. Okay. A Caracas. I can buy 2 things back with Lurrus a turn. All right. So first things first, we hit them, and then we clamp away our bird. Not fantastic. Let's get our bird back. Snapcaster. I think we're gonna clamp this bird another time. I could have dealt an extra damage by putting Skull Clamp on Lurrus, but I felt like a mana was more... Okay, so I have a way to get a cleansing now. So what I can do is I could Recruiter of... Well, actually, am I supposed to Recruiter of the Guard for Teshar because it's going to go infinite at some point? I guess that's better than recruiting for a Spellseeker to get a Demonic Tutor to get a Seal of Cleansing. Well, I can do that next turn, right? If I start with Riddlesmith, it's a little bit more powerful. I'm pretty sure we will like use the 2 Lurruses and the Teshar to go infinite. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but I believe in us. We can figure it out. Ooh, that's kind of an interesting draw. Who the top card of their library is. A Bazaar of Baghdad. Okay. I'm gonna hold this Pearl. For next turn. All right, so I believe next turn, if we go Recruiter, Teshar, Pearl, bring back Lurrus, or every time I bring back a Lurrus, I get a 0 drop. I'm pretty sure that loops, but someone might have to help me out. I'm pretty sure that's the combo, but this is where I need Matt. I'm pretty sure the combo is Teshar, 2 Lurruses, and a 0 drop. All right, so every time they hit a land off of this exploration here, they can play it. They hit a crop rotation. I'm just going to snap off a counter on that, and that will end their thing, and then we should be able to go infinite. Okay, so let's quickly figure out. Teshar says whenever you play a historical spell, you bring back a permanent that costs 3 or less. So can you just explain the loop for me, Matt? Because I'm pretty sure we're looping next turn. And you just, every time you play a spell, you bring back a Lurrus, and then you also bring back a 0 drop because of the Lurrus. I think that's what it is. All right, so I'm just going to counter this Crop Rot. And then we'll go off. Yeah, I guess I just don't exactly what was that? Oh, put Gigantha. Okay, yeah, so we should be able to loop here and win. So white, green, recruiter, go get a Teshar. Blue, opal, whatever, discard, sure. Pass this, return this. White, Teshar, cast Lotus, return Lurrus. All right, my opponent has seen the line. I mean, I don't think we could ever fizzle here. We have like skull clamps and stuff too. We just eventually like draw, I don't know, Mentor Time Walk or something, or just Creatures Time Walk, or pretty sure we draw our whole deck and then we Time Walk and kill our opponent. Teshar, not bad. I like how we had exactly your 4-card combo of double Lurrus, Teshar, 0 drop. Very cool, very cool, very cool. I can clamp the Lurrus. Perfect. I mean, I don't think your hands were super explosive, CFT, and then I also just happened to have counter spells. So I don't know how much it was really your fault. Like, your hands have to be pretty explosive, and like you also fold pretty hard to counterspell typically whenever I played that kind of deck. So all right, here we are, round 2. We were able to win round 1 up against Fabian this time. Fabian is on mono white. I think that should be a fairly good matchup for us. We're playing a bunch of creatures, fast mana, Baleful Strix, so we should be in a pretty good shape. Opponent's actually on a mono white Eldrazi version, so 4 Thought-Knot Seers and only 1 Reality Smasher. How did I get Jordan? It was, you know, just, I don't know, kind of felt like Jordan. This hand looks pretty good. Let's do it. You ever played that game, all GeoGuessr? It's a lot of fun. At least for me, it's a lot of fun. I don't know if that means it'll be a lot of fun for you. You get plopped somewhere on a Google map, and you have to pick where you are in the world. Yeah, get that out of my life. No Thalias, please. They only have 2 cards left in their hand, so we're pretty far ahead right now. We have Bauble Fetchland as a little bit of a combo. Let's see what's on the top of our library. Top. I Sensei's top. Yeah, I guess we'll keep that. I'm gonna hold on. No, I probably shouldn't hold on to the Mana Crypt. Let's put the Mana Crypt in play. Actually, I think I should just put the Yorion in my hand. I've decided against keeping the thing on top. The problem with putting Yorion in my hand is if they have a Thought-Knot Seer, it's pretty bad for me. But if I hit a Moxen, I can play it next turn, and they probably can't win. So Teshar, interesting. Is Teshar better than Teferi? Probably. All right. I've got a bird. Oh, we have the swords. Okay. I mean, it's probably better that our Teshar gets swords than our Yorion. Eldrazi? Human. Uncounterable human. 2 cards in hand. Oh, Archon. Yeah, it's a good one. I think I'm just going to bounce it for this turn, and that way I can just reset my Teferi with Yorion, and I can continue to draw more lands, I guess. This is the only problem with this line is if my opponent drew top decks a Thought-Knot Seer and takes my Yorion. I don't really expect that to happen, but it definitely could happen. We've drawn way too many lands here. Oh, I should have. That's fine. So I get to flicker the Teferi, which gives me 2 more counters. Yeah, that is a little bit weird. I guess they really can't beat a 4/5 flyer, so not a bad matchup for us. We'll take it. Bring in swords, bring in basics, bring in Deadweight and Mire's Grasp. Taking out Fluster. They have a bunch of swords coming in, but I don't really think we're going to be able to Flusterstorm swords anyways. The question is, like, do you leave in Mental Misstep for that? And I kind of think the answer is no. Kind of off it. But I guess Mental Misstep's probably better than these negations, which have very few targets. So maybe we'll just keep Mental Misstep in then. Anything that I'm missing that stands out? Not really. It is a little weird to keep Mental Misstep in, but 4 Swords to Plowshares is probably one of the more important spells in the matchup, so I think keeping it in is fine. Oh, man. You're gonna sign up for the vaccine, all? Should be coming out soon, right? Tomorrow in Rhode Island. I'm excited to try to get back to some kind of normalcy. Go out to the bar, have cookouts, do something, man. It's starting to eat at me. I'm not even wow, that's a hand, is it not? I'm not even like I'm a social person, but I'm not like the most social person. Kind of guy who would sometimes stay in and play video games instead of go out, but ooh, man, I miss bars, and I never thought I'd say that. I miss even like just towny bars. Just being able to having the option to go out, blow off some steam, get an espresso martini. Yep. Hell yeah. We got a nice fire pit over here, so probably have people over. I definitely don't miss going to the office. I actually had to go to the office today. It was as shitty as I remembered it. Okay, all right. Yorion is my commander, and Lurrus is a 4 of in the main deck. If this is human, oh, it's Archon. That is not very nice. Oh, fuck. Well, that is about as hard countered as we possibly could be. Yeah. That's not good. Our hand was so good, and then all of a sudden it was so bad. They have 2? Shit? Don't actually know how I can deal with this. I don't want any of these. That's a start. That's a start. That is one of the cards in my deck that I needed to draw. True. True. I need to draw the Myers Grasp as well is the big problem here. I think I need to preserve my life total as much as possible. Excuse me. So here, I can actually just fetch and play Lurrus. And maybe we can just race. My opponent obviously kept a hand that did not have access to white mana because their hand was so strong with Double Archon, Cavern, Mana Crypt, Chalice. But currently, we are beating that. Interesting. I think the best play is to just... Oh, it's 1 spell a turn. Okay, I probably shouldn't have played Riddlesmith. I probably should have equipped the Skull Clamp to the Lurrus. Slight. I don't know. It's being able to loot with my skull clamp off the Riddlesmith next turn is pretty big deal. So, oh, they hit white mana. That could be a problem. All right, now the game truly begins. I do have access to force, so that's really good. Tinker the what? All right, I actually have to counter this so that my Lurrus can continue attacking. Tinker the what? Oh, tinker away the skull clamp. Not the strongest line. Tinker for Battler Skull. Yeah, that would work. All right, let's loot away. Jeez. We're gonna loot away Black Lotus. And then I'm going to equip this Lurrus, because if they want to trade with my Lurrus, that's fine. We've got plenty of Lurruses to back us up. And the race is going very well for us.
Been busy but happy to support all the same.
Yo, how's it going? Appreciate the support. Hope you're doing well. Busy is a good thing. Most of the time. Okay, that's their one spell for turn? Sure. That kind of makes me think... What does that make me think? They have nothing in hand? I guess they have won a lot of flips, but we have such a better board that's probably fine. You can't play another spell this turn. You already played a spell. Just a slight mistake from our opponent here. Not that there are things that they can take, really. Rainstorm. I think I'm going to start by attacking and see what they do. Are they willing to get rid of this Lurrus yet? Sure hope so. I would love the Archon to be gone. I guess I could technically play another Lurrus just to draw 2 cards. That's kind of interesting thought. Right? I think that's how that works. I can also just cast this to loot, right? Kind of interesting as well. I think I am just going to play a second Lurrus here. Oh, that's my only spell for the turn, though. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, yeah, because I'm just going to brainstorm on their turn. So it's a good use. It's a good use of spells. I think that's fine. I don't think it's necessary. Like, this plays around a Swords to Plowshares from the opponent as well. Lets us have a bunch of Lurruses back up. I think this is going to be a Thought Seer, but... Oh, it's a Reality Smasher. Well, I'm up to 18 life. They might just hold it back to block Lurrus and start attacking with Archon. Yeah. I still think we're in really good shape here. I guess I probably should have gotten my Yorion last turn. I guess we can just put back both Lurrus at this point. I think we're pretty drastically ahead. Interesting. So I played Teferi. I bounce Archon. I play Soul Ring and Recruiter for Baleful Strix, maybe? I mean, maybe I don't even need to do that. Maybe I can just get once I get Yorion, I'm in good shape. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of just playing out my mana here. That's not the strongest draw we have in our deck. I guess I can just loot that away, though. I just kill them. Bounce attacks for 6. How am I just killing them? Definitely missing something there. Ooh, I can get a Teshar. Oh, they have to fade a flip? Sure. I mean, I think this is just like an even more surefire way of winning. But I don't know, maybe it's not good. Teshar actually seems even better than Baleful Strix. I could even get rid of this Recruiter right now. And then maybe get a Force of Will. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like this line actually better than your line, Kubels. Like, there's no rush. We have complete control. And this just shores up the game. Well, the Teshar is going to be a flyer that can attack through the Archon. And every turn after, like, you're still returning things from the graveyard. So, Cavern is on Archon. Yeah, I don't think that line's bad. I do think that line will probably also win you the game. It's fine. I don't know. I think most of the things you choose to do here are going to win you the game. Like, it's, but yeah, I might not win right away. It's true. It might take a turn. Am I getting Thought Not Seared? I would just pretty much probably combo off on the next turn if that was the case. I guess it's still fine. Yeah, I'm getting Thought Not Seared. Okay, sure. You get my Teshar, but then I get the ability to Skull Clamp shit. They're attacking? That would be bold. They're attacking. They're not attacking. Okay, they have chosen to not attack. All right, so how do we play this? So we Skull Clamp the Riddlesmith, and then replay the Riddlesmith. And then cast this. Loot. Or cast this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, probably bouncing might be better. I don't know. Thought this line was pretty good too. I'm pretty sure all roads lead to our victory, though. This seems like a quite a good matchup. Even with opponent going turn 1 Archon Chalice into second Archon, we still were able to pull through, which is pretty insane. I can't say there are many times that I've won with a start opponent's had, so we take those. Okay, round 3, Mythic Society weekly event up against the Sherwinator. Sherwinator is on their 4-color Deathrite Shaman Archon of Emeria deck. Very similar to Bant Archon, except splashing the Deathrite Shaman Leovold. Kind of it, right? An Assassin's Trophy. Let's battle. We grind pretty well, so we've had some fairly favorable matchups tonight. That's kind of a weird hand. I want to put this back. It's already a mulligan on Citadel, and this 6-card hand is pretty medium, especially against an Archon. I think we're just gonna put this one back. Well, we're about a mox short on that one, so to 5. This is viable. This is viable. Keep. I think we'll just put away Opal Petal and look for a Brainstorm. Question would be, do we play out our Lotus? Are we always going to want Lotus in play? They do play Collector Oof. They do play Archon and they do play Lavinia, so I guess the answer is yes. This does leave us with not very many cards to be able to brainstorm, which is not great. I wonder if it would have been better to keep the extra mana sources and go for like a Yorion early. My opponent does have answers to Yorion, so makes it not as good. Turn 1 Archon. It's kind of crazy how they always get to do that. Recruiter of the God. Maybe we should just recruit her for a Baleful Strix. I do kind of wish we had the Skyclave Apparition in our deck so that we could recruit her for a removal spell. Maybe we're just supposed to recruit her for Lurrus so that we could start bringing things back. Though the Emeria does make that kind of problematic. Still think this is probably the best line. And yeah. I mean, if they have a Force of Will in addition to turn 1 Archon, pretty tough for us. I think the answer is Lurrus. Why are you guys spamming in my chat? Zoomers, control yourselves. Jeez. Wasn't me. A solid defense. All right. Well, I don't know if this is going the way I really planned it, but no one really plans to get turn 1 Archon. Maybe Lurrus is a bad choice because it's going to be hard for me to get white-black mana. It's not like we're post-board with the planes and oh my lord. Opponent doesn't want me to play Magic. I hate to see it, really. I don't actually have other basics in my deck, so I'm probably not even going to be able to play spells this turn. I guess the best thing we can do is Brainstorm. This Academy is pretty useless at this point anyways, so. Strip Mine. I kind of want this negation as a way to counter an Oko. I don't know if I'm supposed to keep the Jet so that I can cast Lurrus 2 turns from now or whatever. Probably not. This looks quite bad for us. Hard to draw them up better than turn 1 Archon. Oh, I make sure I crack this actually. End step. All right, so we'll slow the bleeding next turn by playing a Riddlesmith. And then the turn after that, we can get Lurrus going. But there's really not much to get Lurrus going with because, well, nothing really does anything. Oh, they have a wasteland? I didn't even notice. I mean, I didn't have a choice, but... Oh, this seems less than ideal for us. I'm not even going to be able to play this Lurrus. Maybe Baleful Strix was the right choice. Maybe the right choice was just Teshar. Probably not, though. Baleful Strix would have at least made it so the Archon wasn't attacking us. But... yeah, it's all about turn 1 Archon, and it really just, like, even though our deck is quite good against turn 1 Archon, really just hard to play against. It makes it so you really just can't play Magic. Pretty brutal. Gets better post board when we start getting 3 basics and some removal spells, but just another wasteland? Yeah, my opponent's draw is just very, very good. Kind of the end all be all here. All right, so we've cut the clock in half by literally playing a 2-1. The problem ends up being we kind of have to draw a dual land off the top to get a Lurrus in play, which is quite a hard ask. Because the dual land has to come, like, if it's a fetch land, it takes 2 turns. All right, well, that's not allowed. They're 1 Swords to Plowshare. Don't think they'll attack with Collector Roof. Don't really want to give us all that card draw. So we really do need to draw just the dual land right now. Demonic Tutor. That's technically drawing the dual land right now. I wish we had a I wish we had a removal spell in our main deck, but we elected to not play a removal spell in our main deck. I guess a Baleful Strix is actually just a better call than a land. Sure, let's get a Baleful Strix. There's no way we could possibly fit removal in our 80 card deck. Come on. I do think that I want to play 3 Recruiter of the Guards and have one of the Recruiter of the Guards targets be a Skyclave, though. Oh, come on. Well, our perfectly designed plan here has hit a snag. They oh, never mind. They had a Force of Will the whole time. They were sandbagging the Force of Will the whole time. All right, so post board things get better. Swords, Deadweight, Myers Grasp, and then let's take out Tinker Citadel, and let's take out Flusterstorm, and let's take out a negation. Yeah, that looks good to me. Do that. I think they probably had turn 1 Archon with Force backup based on the way they were pausing in that game, which is big sad. It's pretty crazy. They don't even play full Moxen. They only play 4. It do be like that sometimes. Yeah, I think this is fine. How many answers do they play to a 4/5 flyer? 3 swords, 1 assassin's trophy, and 3 Okos. I guess Lumi kind of counts. So enough. Not 0. Okay. I have a bird. Interesting hand. Keep. You're not wrong, Catfish. You're not wrong. All right, let's see what their 7-card hand looks like, chat. Let's just cheat and look at their hand. Oh, free. Force of Will, Mental Misstep, Bayou, Jet, Deathray Shaman. Double Archon. It's a good one. It's definitely a good one. No! My Lurrus. Definitely gonna get forced. But our hand's sweet. We're gonna go blue, black, Baleful Strix. Quite good against their Archons. And then I don't think it's worthwhile to crack Lotus and play Lurrus, especially because it's gonna lose us a Mox Opal mana. I guess it won't lose us a Mox Opal mana because of Baleful Strix. Interesting. All right, I'm in. I'm down to force the deal here. This has to get forced from them. And then we're definitely going to play this. Pass. All right, so they have a Bayou, a Jet, and a Deathrite Shaman, but they have no land in the graveyard yet, so they can't make Archon mana. And we have a Baleful Strix anyways. Oh, that's really good. That's really, really good. So I can go Time Walk and put the Yorion in my hand. And I don't even have to crack this land for their Deathrite Shaman. Sometimes MTGO just stops taking my F6 commands. I don't know why. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play a play a turn 2 Yorion. Oh, I should have attacked first. Whatever. I messed up. Sorry, chat. My fault. I missed 1 damage. I was too excited. Then we can actually brainstorm on their turn as well. Wonder if there's any value to brainstorming now. What's in their deck list? Are there like Hull Breachers? No. They can't Flusterstorm me if I do it now. I guess I'm just gonna brainstorm now. Oh yeah, I don't have to fetch until later. Ooh. Okay. Snap Time Walks. Okay. I also have Caracas Yorion. Interesting one as well. I guess I can't snap Time Walk with a Deathrite Shaman and a Bayou in play. I think we're just gonna fetch away those lands. Obviously, they'll be able to maybe play an Archon a turn later, but I think that's okay. Probably want a Tundra, seeing as Brachus is exposed. Lost the flip. Riddlesmith. Okay. I wonder if the play is just to replay Yorion. Probably not. I think the play is probably just Lavinia and Riddlesmith. Wait, I just tapped. Okay, so just Lavinia and hold up Caracas on our Yorion. Fair. All right, so the two cards we didn't know about were blue card Force of Will. All right, so they're gonna probably eat my Time Walk here, and then they'll play the Archon, but the Archon doesn't block anything, so we're in pretty good shape. Yeah, I should definitely have just gone shields down on Caracas, and then okay. You gonna play an Archon? Why have we lost a bunch of flips? Is that why we're at 12? Why are we at 12? Okay, you have an Archon. I drew another Riddlesmith. All right, well, I'm just gonna attack because this looks pretty good. Can't really play multiple spells in a turn, so better off just getting this Riddlesmith in play. I guess I can actually end of turn Ambush Viper. Should probably do that. All right, second Archon. Oh, Ancestral. That can't be right. That does not seem like a good play. You can't make another play this turn. There's an Archon in play. What are you doing? Archon players seem to forget about their own Archons way more than you would think. Yeah, so my opponent should not have cast Ancestral. They should have just played another Archon. I'll take it. Why not? Game 3. Submit. Archons, yeah. How dare they in 2021 print symmetrical hate bear text? You know, doesn't make any sense. what was Wizards thinking? My creature restricts me from doing things. How dare they? No one could have seen this coming. Yeah, it is weird to have one and not the other. But I mean, Lavinia has one that is very awkward ones as well, where one is can't be played and one is countered. One's triggered ability and one is a static effect. They did a lot of weird hate bears recently. This hand sure doesn't do much, but it sure does that. It sure doesn't do much well. Wait, it sure. It doesn't do much, but it does what it does well, which is not much. But we're doing it. Spellseeker for Ancestral? Spellseeker for Swords to Plowshares. I actually think Spellseeker Swords to Plowshares is likely to be better. Alright. Please no Lotus Archon. Why do I bother even saying things? It's just every time. It's just every fucking time. It's incredible. it's I was like, as long as there's no Lotus Archon, then it's fine. Okay, they had no follow-up play. So that makes it fair. Did they have Force of Will backup for their Archon as well? They did. They did also have Force of Will backup for their turn 1 Lotus Archon. Lotus Archon Force of Will backup, better or worse than Mana Crypt Tinker Force of Will backup? What do you think, chat? By you, Lavinia. True. All right, so I think I'm just going to crack this for a island and go get that Swords to Plowshares that we were talking about. Because I believe that once we are unlocked, we will be in a much better place. I guess they could have double Force of Will. All right, I'm going to get Swords to Plowshares. Why would we get Swords to Plowshares? Because the Archon is restricting us immensely. Ancestral finding Swords to Plowshares is not the most likely in our 80 card deck. All right, so I think what we want to do here is I don't know. They could have negation. I'm definitely not casting it on my turn. I could just probe them and find out. I kind of feel like the other plays aren't getting me super far anyways. Oh, fucking hell. Okay. Their hand also had Ancestral Double Force Time Walk. Cool. That's pretty funny as well. That's pretty funny as well. We did draw the Ancestral, by the way. Why did they bring in Energy Flux? They got to see my whole deck list and they decided, yes, Energy Flux, that's the one. All right, well, I can hold this Swords to Plowshares, which means that they'll never be able to play a spell. It's fine, it's fine. They literally can never cast a spell. So as long as I hold Swords to Plowshares on their turn, they're not allowed to cast spells. I am going to Ancestral into Force, though. That's fine. Cast creatures and race them is possible, but we are at quite a deficit. Definitely don't want to play a Mana Crypt, I can tell you that much. But Lurrus is an insane draw. Unfortunately, I need to be able to hold open swords to plowshares. So, wait, they pitched a Lavinia? Why would they pitch the one card that we don't know about? Okay. So, next turn, we can cast the Lurrus. And I want to be able to fetch a swamp. So, I'll go Delta, Riddlesmith. No, we're fine. We're fine. We boarded in 2 basics. I think we're going to win this game by like a decent amount. Because Lurrus will really help in the race. I guess if they top deck an island, things may change, but... I'm going to not cast the swords because I don't want them to like draw an island and be able to play spells after. But maybe they win if they're allowed to play. Maybe they're win if I allow the swords, but probably not. All right, so this can fetch us Swamp. And then I have Lurrus. If they force this, then I can swords and go off, right? No, I can't because I can't play more than 1 spell on a turn. Never mind. Okay, so they forced it. Energy Flux, Force of Will. Alright, I just play a Strand, an attack. And then I'm still going to not swords this right away. And then end step, I'm going to look to swords it because it's fairly unlikely that they have a counter at that point. But I don't want them to... Well, yeah, I don't think 2 life matters. I think playing at end step is better. I don't know. They never drew a land, though, so I'll take that. They had a 3rd force? Okay, all right. It's okay. It's okay. We can recruit her for the Baleful Strix. I think recruiting for Baleful Strix is better than going for Yorion. Yep, I still have a planes left to fetch, so I can go Snapcaster end of turn as well. They did pitch their Time Walk as well, which is a really big win for us. Noble Hierarch. That's a blocker and a quicker clock. And it lets them cast Ancestral. Things could get dicey here. Oh, and they hit a land, so they already can cast Ancestral on my turn. Yo, I bet we play this Baleful Strix and they just draw removal on us. I would kill for a Myers Grasp. Okay, that was a good one. Um, blue, black, Baleful Strix. Also gets to loot through another Baleful Strix. Oh, that's really good, huh? All right, so I don't think that I'm supposed to get Yorion, and the reason for that is I don't want to tap out and get hit by, I guess I can't get flustered. There's actually just no way to get flustered because of Archon. So I can get Yorion. I just can't fetch. Because I'm going to force the Ancestral. They had swords? Oh, I can't force the Ancestral anyways? This game is ridiculous. It doesn't even win. I can't even, because of the Noble Hierarch, I'm actually going to die here. That's fucking unreal. I guess if I had gotten Yorion last turn, this would have been fine, though. That's crazy. We knew their whole hand at one point, and they actually drew third Force of Will, Tundra, Swords to Plowshares. I don't know. I mean, I did make a choice to go for this line instead of getting Yorion, which would have played around the Swords to Plowshares that they could have top decked. So maybe it was my fault. I don't know. I thought this line was better, though. With Snapcaster, I'm threatening lethal. I don't know. I wouldn't have been able to counter Ancestral because I had already played a spell this turn. So that wouldn't have mattered, but... Not... I mean, if I don't play the Snapcaster, I'm not threatening lethal. I don't know. Maybe that's just a misplay on my part, I guess. That's why Matt's has an 80% win rate and I have a 40% win rate, right? Like, they're not allowed to make this attack after... If we play a Snapcaster, they can't make this attack. Probably would just attack. I mean, we can probably just put them to 1, yeah. Yes, I could have gotten Yorion, but okay, you're right. I guess I could have gotten Yorion. Yeah, I guess that's true. I wouldn't get Baleful Strix. Oh yeah, so I guess it's just bad. Well, the problem with that line is it loses to Wasteland. Right? If I choose to not get a Baleful Strix and my opponent Wastelands my Tundra, I lose that way, right? Between Wasteland and Strip Mine, there are more ways that I would lose via that than lose via swords. I don't know. Do you really, like, is that line really wrong, though? Like, sure, I can choose to play around swords, but isn't it threatening to win better? Cast Mox. Oh, no, you're right. Cast Mox, get Yorion, and Snapcaster. No, that's better. I like that. That sounds like the best line. Because that beats Swords and Wasteland. Yeah, I don't know. That seems true. Yeah, I think that's just a punt from me, I guess. I had to put them on swords, I guess. Yeah, no, I think that line is better. Mox get Yorion, plays around everything. I guess it doesn't play around Assassin's Trophy, but we can't beat Assassin's Trophy no matter what. Well, no, we would actually beat Assassin's Trophy because we would have gotten to Force of Will by the time they got to untap. Okay. I guess that one's on me. Hmm. Alright, we gotta go battle Not Me now. Good luck, have fun. Oh, uh they took my game. I need to play versus Not Me. There we go. All right. We're just gonna jump right into it, chat. Now we're gonna play the fourth and final round of this week's Mythic Society Weekly. We're playing against Not Me. Not Me has the spicy Duretti brew tonight. Kind of just looks like a Grixis deck, right? Dak, Narset, Duretti, Sprite Dragons, and Dreadhorde Arcanists, Blood Chiefs, Thirsts, Cling to Dusk. Bunch of experimental cards going on. So let's see what we got. We've got a bird. We've got this stupid Citadel in my hand again. I should just believe in Matt. Just never put the Citadel in my deck. We've drawn it so many times tonight. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep this hand still. It's pretty slow, but my opponent's deck's also pretty slow. We have a filterable draw. I think it's fine. Our cards produce like extra value. Try to grind out our opponent. Yeah, I could definitely see mulliganing it, but yeah, no, it's me. I have to draw it. Just like my opponents have to draw Lotus Archon. It's written in the rules. Force of Will. I'm not really thrilled with the idea of drawing Force of Will, but I think it's okay. I don't really think I want to draw it. I don't think I want to draw Force of Will. Wastelands? No Wastelands. Yeah, I'm just gonna crack now. I'd like to draw a fast mana, maybe, or even just lands. I guess if I have to pitch my Spellseeker, it's pretty bad. Because my Spellseeker represents an Ancestral Recall. It's going to be a 2-drop. It's pretty bad against Baleful Strix, but we don't have a Baleful Strix. And we also can't cast the Baleful Strix. We can't cast much of anything. I'm not really convinced our deck plays cantrips. Just a Moxen to play a Lurrus is insane. Like a Moxen play Lurrus, redraw Bauble is a cantrip, you know? Wouldn't it be nice? Time walk. I have to let that happen. Don't really think that's worthwhile. I kind of need to be able to force a negation, a Dak Vaden, or a Planeswalker of some kind. Obviously, there's a problem with Time Walk in the fact that my opponent can draw land and Mystic Sanctuary it back. Thought Scour. Wonderful. Okay. Taking a lot of Sprite Dragon damage. Kind of haven't done anything this game, so it's kind of my own fault. I don't know. I think the hand was still okay, but drawing 2/3 drops is not great. This gets Pyroblasted. It's definitely game. Yep. Got forced. So now my opponent draws 3, draws a fetch land, brings back the Time Walker, the Ancestral, draws into it, and kills me. Yeah, alright. I'll go to the next game. So yeah, maybe that hand was just too slow. Maybe I should be putting those kind of hands back. Soul Guide Lantern. Well, my opponent's not really on Breach, so I'm not really a fan of Soul Guide Lantern here. I think we would want Deadweight and Myers Grasp and Swords. They have a lot of creatures in their deck. And then just take out Tinker Citadel. Yeah, I'm kind of convinced Tinker Citadel is not very good in this deck. I'm convinced. Feels like it was a poor addition from my end. There's no balance in the deck. Not the greatest balance deck either when we can't empty our hand of 3 drops. It's an interesting hand. Definitely looking at just putting the Yorion into my hand. It actually turns on my negation, which is pretty cool. Underground Sea. Sapphire. Well, we have a lot of mana on turn 2. We don't have a lot of draw spells or engine cards. Yeah, Skull Clamp, which is not nothing. Baleful Strix is a fantastic draw, though. Big Baleful Strix fan here. I probably should have played this so I could have hard cast negation. So that I don't get Pyroblasted. Would that have been worth it? I think so. Yeah, I definitely probably should have done that. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's likely that that was a better play. Baleful Strix being in play represents a lot of cards. Definitely, probably. I think I probably would have if I had the Tundra in play, so it's just a misplay. It's okay, I'll draw another one. Didn't draw another one. Very cheaty face. Am I supposed to just jam this? Probably. Ooh, I can't actually hold up negation. And I can hold up for negation for Pyroblast on their turn by blinking these, but I can't beat Force. So maybe I shouldn't have played this. I don't know. I feel like I played this game very poorly, though maybe it would have just ended up very similar. I kind of have a feeling we're just going to draw a bunch of lands and lose this game. My deck doesn't have Pyroblast in it, so Sprite Dragon does end up being a very good threat against us. I mean, if I can draw like a Recruiter of the Guard, I think we're in good shape. Because then I would have Recruiter plus negation. Get a Lurrus, Skull Clamp my Recruiter. This is probably unbeatable anyways. I don't like if I had actually resolved a Yorion, they would have just been able to Pyroblast it off of Arcanist. So wouldn't have gone very well anyways. I do have to probably draw a 1 toughness creature or a cantrip exactly right now though. There's no balance in my deck, Midway. Stop calling for a card that's not in my deck. There's no balance. It's a creature deck. It's a 3-drop creature deck. Also, I didn't make the deck. Yell at Matt. I needed a cantrip or a creature. I drew a land. It do be like that. It do be like that. Yeah, I mean, I do think we sequenced very poorly here, so I didn't do myself any favors. Knight's Whisper. I just can't beat any of these cards, right? Too much draw spells. And this is, I guess this is a pretty good example of why you should always play Xerox engines. Playing 5 mana spells when you can play 2 mana spells that do, if not more, not the strongest. I just still think we have a strong outlet here, right? If we do draw a Recruiter. If we draw a Recruiter and then we play a Lurrus and then we buy back a Baleful Strix, it's pretty good. But it doesn't actually do anything because Arcanist can flashback Pyroblast on Baleful Strix and I can't even block, so... I guess the real answer is to draw a Spellseeker, have my opponent not have a Pyroblast, and then Spellseeker for a Swords to Plowshares, and then Skullclamp my Spellseeker. Technically it draws 2 cards, but I think it's going to get Pyroblasted. Yeah, I don't know. Pyroblast is just not fun. And we did not min cash. I think I played really, really poorly in that match, and then I think I probably misplayed in game 3 of the round before. So I don't know. Matt might have been 4-0 if he played this tournament with this deck. The deck is cool, but I don't know. I don't even think it like grinds versus a Xerox deck. I feel like a Xerox deck just does everything this deck wants to do, but better. I guess that they don't do anything the same, but like you just like they simultaneously will draw more cards than you and counter all your spells. So I'm not sure what to think of this. I do think that Tinker Citadel was bad. I would not play those. I would get this 3rd Teferi back in here. I would get a 3rd Recruiter of the Guard in here. I would cut back down to 1 Snapcaster Mage, and I would put in a Skyclave Apparition. I think that's how I would change this deck. We didn't even play against like Breach combo, which I assume is also an abysmal matchup, or Doomsday, which is probably not very good matchup. So we did play against a couple of matchups which I think were pretty strong. Like I think the Archon matchup is actually fairly good, especially if they just don't play a turn 1 Archon. Though I guess most decks are a lot better versus the Archon deck if they just don't play a turn 1 Archon. The deck kind of doesn't really do any. The banned Archon deck doesn't really do anything. It's kind of like this deck actually, where it just doesn't really do anything when it's not playing a turn 1 Archon. Whereas this deck, if you're not like have a good accelerating hand, getting you into your combo pieces early, probably doesn't do much either. I do think this deck probably has a pretty big problem with Pyroblast. Obviously, Lurrus is quite good against Pyroblast, but Yorion and Baleful Strix and Riddlesmith look really silly when your opponent is Pyroblasting. So that's quite an issue. So pretty much on theme for a Justin stream. Weak to Collector Roof and weak to Pyroblast. It is how it is. It's a cool deck though. Pretty fun. Teshar was fantastic. I definitely want to play more decks with Teshar in the future. I really do think this card is super sweet and does a lot of the things that I like to do in Magic. Cast artifacts, create loops, do fun and broken combos. So Teshar got the seal of approval from me. Lurrus engine was reasonable, but the rest of the blue spells got pyroblasted and kind of went downhill. I do think that you want to play this Monastery Mentor, as you can fetch it off Recruiter of the Guard, which I think is pretty powerful. But if you don't get blown out by Oof and Pyroblast, are you really playing Vintage? Exactly. That's my motto. So, if you enjoyed this on YouTube, make sure that you leave a like, maybe a comment, maybe even subscribe to the channel. All 3 free things you can do to support the channel and help me grow Vintage. I'll catch everybody on the next stream.